Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we have got a fantasy map, in case you hadn't already worked that one out. It's a map which has got a very strong visual vibe to it. And if you're looking for a map with some pretty strong striking background as well as an interesting build, this could be for you. Now, true realists would disagree with one or two of the decisions that have been made, but it's a fantasy map, so true realists can go and do one. It's pretty strong for what it is. It does have some minor grumbles. Of course, there's going to be some minor grumbles. Most of these can be cleaned up as you're going across with your city build. So anyway, I think, it grabbed my attention. Apparently it's a version 2 of this map as well. I didn't see version 1, so I think what we need to do instead is play some BonBonBingo. Link is in the description. And of course, if you like playing games, my favourite game, of course, is called the A Daily Reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Dypsund Modernized by Klopfer. Okay, so this is the 2.0 version. I didn't see the original version. I think it's now off of the workshop as well, so we'll just have to trust that this is an improvement. It's not a bad start square. Not a bad start square. There's plenty of curves going on. In fact, the whole thing is like an inland lake with some connections to the outside, but only just, and plenty of playable resources. If you want resources, we have got oil for snow today, so you probably won't be doing the oil, but everything else maybe. And the fishing's pretty strong as well. If you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, there's your fishing map right there. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, there's no DLC required today. There is a one-click collection with 32 items in it. We'll be using various themes, a theme mix even. Theme mix of 2 settings includes the Australia coast theme, the temperate 4K coast theme, and also the Alps Dolomites theme, along with the satellite LUT. You'll notice that I haven't subscribed to Daylight Classic because I have the old version, which I've covered many times in the past. There's a whole bunch of like Railway Replacer mod, loads of great assets going on here as well. There's one more mod at the bottom I haven't yet subscribed to. I need to switch things over. The Tree Anarchy mod is the equivalent of the Unlimited Tree mod, but it's been upgraded. It's not compatible with absolutely everything, so I'm going to need to make some changes to my system before I flip things over. But again, it's probably one of those things that I think we all will need to do anyway at some point. Look at the aesthetics. Look at the mountains. Look at the mountains. Loving the snow vibe that you get from the Alps Dolomites theme is a very strong one. Highly recommend that one if you are looking to do something a little bit creative. Now, it's a very flamboyant map, and we're going to start off with a very non-flamboyant intersection. This one, I've got to say, somewhat disappointing. We do have some trees. We do have some trees clipping through the underside. There are a few across the map, but there's not too many. But yes, I was expecting a slightly more flamboyant intersection than that one. Now I'm going to do a little bit of roleplay. Okay, we are going to do a little bit of roleplay. Imagine that we're in a car and we're driving somewhere. We've got a couple of kids in the back. You've got little Tommy who's 8 and little Joey who's 5. And Tommy is going, but are we nearly there yet? And you know the routine, okay? You know, and then you say, hey Tommy, we're going to be going over a bridge in a minute, trying to distract him with the we're going to go over a big old bridge, because everybody loves a big old bridge, especially Tommy. Okay, Joey's a little bit scared of the big old bridges, yeah. Especially, it's a bit claustrophobic. A little bit claustrophobic. But Tommy loves a big old bridge. So anyway, you say, Tommy, we're heading towards a big old bridge, and it's going to be so exciting. And Joey's going, oh, I don't like tunnels, Daddy. And you go, look, it's fine, Joey, it's fine. It's not a tunnel. And then, as we go over the brow of the hill, we get a glance at, oh, look, there's this pointy thing in the distance there. I think that's a mountain. And we see the bridge. And it's a beautiful, I'm not sure if it's the Bay Bridge or the other bridge, but it's still a superb bridge. And we're going to be going into the equivalent of a tunnel. Okay? Again, trees clipping through here and there, not too many of them, but there are a few. Now, little Joey is going into panic stations here because we're driving on the lower section here, right? And you as a dad, you don't like your little boy being upset. So, Joey, it's going to be fine, Joey. It's going to be fine. I'll tell you what, Joey, we'll make it come out just for a little stretch before we go back in. And Joey's feeling a lot better about this. Correct? And then we go back into the tunnel and Joey starts throwing another tantrum. Panic! Daddy! Daddy, I don't like it, Daddy! Daddy, I don't like it. Don't like these trees clipping through either, Daddy. It's okay, Joey. It's okay. We will fix it. Good. Nice bridge, though, isn't it? Great bridge work. Klopfer, great bridge work. And then we come back over the other side. Yeah, Daddy, I'm really scared, Daddy. And you go, well, we'll come out. We'll get some fresh air again. There you go. Also, we've got a little bit of stray two-lane road coming in there. That needs to be upgraded to the highway. Perfectly fine underneath, though, where we are. And then we come out, and then Joey goes, I want to go on the top, Daddy. I want to go on the... Oh, Daddy is so... Okay, and then Daddy makes it that suddenly the road goes onto the top from the bottom. I've no idea. I'm clueless. You did wonder where I was going with this story, didn't you? Yeah, it flips sides. Deliberately and fantastically, and I've no idea. It's your start square. Lots of curvy roads and a big old roundabout there to get you started. That's quite pleasing. And again, the tree work around here is quite pleasing also. Let's jump across to the rail. Now, I'm from a part of the world where we don't have catenaries, right? These portals seem very close together. Now, I haven't spent any time looking at them on the continent or anywhere else for that matter, but they do seem really close together. Now, it's clearly by design because otherwise they would be further apart, wouldn't they? They would be. But yeah, I don't know. They just seem really tightly, densely packed. Probably absolutely correct, and I'll leave you to talk about this one in the comments. For me, I'm just making an observation because I don't feel qualified to comment on portals at all. Anyway, this is now going to go on the bottom tier of the 3-tier bridges that we've been looking at, and again, it's very smoothly done, very smoothly done. Big old bridge, everybody loves a big old bridge. Not so much trees clipping through. Then we have another lovely big bridge here. This is very modern. This is very recent, actually. I think this is actually from Revo this week, I think. An amazing looking bridge there. We will be coming back to this bridge later on, but so that the realists can have a grumble, because I know our realists do like a grumble. It's a fantasy map, guys. Stop grumbling. It's a very smooth route as well. We are elevated at this point, which means that the slightly undulating ground underneath us, apart from the trees clipping through occasionally underneath us, doesn't affect the line of the rail. It's very smooth, and I would say some very nice quality going on here as well. Yeah, all told, I could say this is a very strong fantasy map. It's very bold. I think bold is definitely the word for it. It's bold and strong with some good strong aesthetics, and the big grumble, of course, is just the number of trees that are tucked under the road or the rail, and they, as you can see, it's not across the entirety of the map, it's just in certain spots. So it's almost like Klopfer have picked up on some of these ones and cleaned them up, and then missed other areas, or I don't know. Again, if you are playing with Anarchy, you can have the settings set that these won't be showing through anyway, so there is that. But I do like to show them because they are part of the tree count. And the tree count is fairly high today. We are well over the maximum limit, so you will need an unlimited tree mod of one description or another. The new Tree Anarchy mod, I'm going to have a proper look at that one, because apparently that new Tree Anarchy mod includes things like the random tree rotation and various things like that. So, and I'm guessing Anarchy for the trees. I'm guessing. So it's one of those things I do need to sit down and have a look. But I'm doing some tutorials at the moment for upcoming Sundays, and maybe this Tree Anarchy mod will be one of them. And then those of you that are waiting for episode 8 of the island, that'll be back in maybe 3 or 4 weeks' time. I've got to get these tutorials done. I'm well known for my tutorials. They're well watched. I've got to get them recorded. Anyway, at this point, although we're still a little way from the edge of the map, we're going to take an intermission for reasons that you'll see later.
Do you have thousands of mods and assets and find controlling them burdensome? Did you know that the workshop has a way of helping to control your subscription? Find out more with BonBonB's collections tutorial.
And so back to Dypsund Modernized by Klopfer and the shipping routes. We have a couple there that just break off then come back together. They're perfectly fine. We have a right angle turning here, so there will be some crazy shipping action going on there. Another one that goes right along the edge of the map here. Probably could have not even had that. And then again, we've got a nice loop around there. No major problems apart from a couple of right angle turns there. This guy's going to be going straight on, I can tell you right now without checking. Yep, it's clearly the most direct route from that angle. Water flow through the start square. We have strong water flow at this point. It weakens up quite substantially as we go across the bridge. This is all in the start square area, so you're going to just have to check that water flow before you put things down. Strong on the right, weaker on the left. So the map as a whole is very, very visually striking. I think we can all agree on that one. Let's talk about that natural disasters thing. You can have a look here. The sea level here is there, and then as we come inland, it drops inland quite some way. So if you have a tidal wave, you're going to get quite a bit of flooding. That'll take a while to subside. Just consider that if you are playing a natural disasters game. The map does provide you though with lots of buildable space and some interesting shapes of the forests as well to break things up. If you want to build around the forest to keep the forests in place, then that can help break up a grid city. We've got some interesting coastlines. I think we can agree with interesting. And also we've got these little rivers, just a couple of these little rivers that cut in from the sea on the outside and then feed the lakes on the inside. The lakes do have their own water sources anyway, so this isn't absolutely critical, but I think it's quite nice the way that we have connected up the outside of the map via a couple of little rivers and then down there, and you see it all connects up with that circular lake. It's a donut lake in the middle. In the middle of that lake, we do have that mountain as well. I think that mountain really does make the map pop a little bit. Otherwise, it would just be in a really strange shape. Got a few dotted islands around the outside. They are more for aesthetic purposes than actual use. But I'm sure there's one or two of you will be going, yep, I know exactly what we're going to be doing out there. Anyway, let's come back to the middle of the map. Talk about this rail bridge. I did say we'd come back and have a look at it. It's a marvellous bridge. But would you really have had the bridge there when you could have been building the rail along the land like that? I think you wouldn't. But, you know, it's a fantasy map. We can allow for one or two little fantastical areas, yeah? Okay, now let's have a look here. We've got a little fishing village down here. Let me show you what's behind us, though. We have the essential lighthouse in blue. But why is this here? It's in the middle of this circular. I mean, surely any ship that's there will already know. We have a few drowned trees. There really aren't that many, though. I think this is the worst area. Yeah, they do have their trunks on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. They are, yeah, just a few going for a paddle. Now, here I think we have a missed opportunity. I really like this, okay? Everything here I really like. And then we're going to finish with what I'm going to say is a missed opportunity. This pass up through here is heavily densely wooded. It looks amazing. Everything about this I really like. Again, it just works really well with the aesthetics of the map, the design of the map. And then as we come over the ridge here, you'll see we have a peninsula. Okay, a knobbly peninsula at that. And what should go on the end of the peninsula? Now here's a perfect place for an essential lighthouse, which there is not an essential lighthouse. But more bizarrely, while that would be the ideal place for an essential lighthouse, we do have an essential lighthouse. It's over here. Again, in blue. And if you're a ship, unless that is signalling you've got to come to the lighthouse rather than avoid the lighthouse. Normally lighthouses you try and avoid. I'm very confused by that. Where were we? Being here? Yeah, back to this one. Now, remember before we got to the intermission, I said we are going to veer away before because I'm going to show you later. Here is the later. Okay. Again, plenty of trees under the rail here, but This part of the design of the map I don't really buy into, fantasy map or not. The way that carves through as a valley just looks like it's been carved through specifically for the road. Doesn't feel like any sort of natural fantastical formation at all there for me. And then we do have one street lamp here which is a little bit overhanging of the rail there. Just one, and that could be a problem. And then we have another one that is literally proper street light clipping over here. That's a bigger problem. Anyway, not that it's going to stop any trains from running at all. It's just an aesthetic thing, and we pick up on these things because that's what we're here to do. Right, I think we're about right to go to the middle of the map now, to the start square for the asset of today. And today's one is a bit like a Bon, but it's more of a Bob. BonBonB, that's me. It's Bob's by KingLeno, Bob's Burger Bar. I'm guessing it's a chain in America. It could be a fictional creation because it just, why not? Hey, listen, I'm all for either. And factoids because factoids. The world's most remote island is a Norwegian territory. Administered by Norway since 1929, Bouvet Island, or Bouvet Island, in the South Atlantic Ocean, is located approximately 1,700 kilometres north of the coastline of Antarctica and 2,600 kilometres away from the South African coast. The closest inhabited land is the British Overseas Territory of Tristan da Cunha, more than 2,000 kilometres away. Norway has designated the island and its waters as a nature reserve since the 1970s, and while no one lives on the island, Norwegian authorities do maintain an unmanned weather station. So if you want to know the weather station in Bouvet Island, get online now because there is going to be records somewhere. Thank you, Norway. Very useful. Anyway, Bob's by KingLeno. That is perfect KingLeno work. It's KingLeno through and through. Patty and all. Patty, bun, relish and all, and I do relish that. That's one of my favourite KingLeno assets. It's just quirky enough that I could use it. Anyway, let's head back down towards screenshot, thumbnail. There, perfect, right here. Right, and while I do that, I turn to you and I say, hey guys, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you, why is the camera not moving? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description takes you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. Today's map, for me, is aesthetically very pleasing indeed. It's bold, it screams fantasy, fantastical. Bold is the word. I think it does it very well. I'm going to go for... There are a few errors in it for me, but I still think it's 4 stars. I'm going to go for a medium low 4. Detailing. Yes, I've got a few grumbles. I think even with... I'm with the realists on this one. That rail bridge... yeah, I'm with the realists. Even on the fantasy map. Plenty of trees to be cleared, but other than that, not too bad. I'm going to go for a very high 3 stars. It feels like it should be higher. Gameplay potential. Yeah, very playable, very likeable. I'm going to go for middle 4. Middle 4. Yeah, why not? Middle 4. Dypsund Modernized by Klopfer. I'm surprising myself with my ratings here. Yeah. Well, how does this feel today? It feels like a middle 4. Actually, do you know what? All told for me, if I had to give an overall score, I'd go middle low 4, right where the aesthetics was for the overall score. It's a strong map. Well done, Klopfer. Well done. Anyway, if you're still here, you're very much in the house. Use the word of the day in the comments. Score yourself some population points. Just for fun. Just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Because I do appreciate you 20 and out elitists, you know. More than anybody else in the whole world. Almost.